So can you see my
Yeah,
screen? Okay,
yeah,
I'm going to whiz off this very quickly so I'm not staring at myself.
yeah, I know.
Um, ah, so basically, once you've logged in, as you've seen, you've got all the weeks coming up,
Yes, yeah.
and then you can unpack them. So the course overview just basically says hello and gives you some advice about how you should follow the course, what you
Hmm.
can expect in the course.
Yeah,
And then I thought it was important to include a guide to the learning platform. So just so that you know your way around all of this.
yeah,
Um, the schedule just so that you can put it in your diary if you want to.
yeah.
And then I've put TVGs, technical video guides, because I've had
Okay.
questions about the actual logistics of how do you download a file and how do you do little bit.
Mm. Oh, well,
And
I'm sure that'll be really useful for me.
well, I hope so. And if it isn't, please do let me know. And if there's something else that you want, no question is too small because I've
Yeah,
well, I've just learned all this in the past year, and I remember how frustrating it was not to know how to do something.
yeah,
I think that also helps my perspective of doing this because I know not all teachers are proficient on technology.
yeah, yeah.
So there's a variety of technical video guides. And then and this, I suppose this is quite heavy because it's the first week. And then
Mhm.
when we go on the following weeks, there won't be any introduction. It'll be just straight into the lessons.
Yeah.
And so then if I click on this, again, this is an in-depth introduction to module
Mhm.
one, just to make sure that you have read the map of where to go and what to do. And then we launch into it properly. And so with the diversity element, there's always a read section, and then there's a quiz just to test your learning to make sure you understand everything.
Okay. Yeah,
Simple quiz.
yeah.
And then we have a relate section where we relate all this learning to, or we encourage you to relate it to your particular setting,
Yeah.
just because everybody's setting is different and
Mm.
one size doesn't fit all. That's, I think that's the message of the whole course, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and then there's a summary, and then there are downloads. We're going to make up our own diversity policy over the
Okay.
course of the 12 weeks. And so rather than do it in one lump at the end, I thought it would be better to do it in like 2 sentences per week.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the first part. And then the second part are the songs, which are, I know you're a musician, so you might, or oh, so yeah, sorry, you might or might not want them,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, if it's always useful to learn new songs. So if I don't know them, then that will be useful. But also, even if you do know them, it's nice to hear them done maybe in different ways, or you know.
yeah, yeah, and I am hoping exactly that. I am hoping, although I will then go through and explain the songs and the way that I do them, it would be really nice to have feedback back saying,
Yeah.
I've used this song, but I've used it in this way.
Mm,
It would
yeah.
be totally different. So I start with, I have also presumed any knowledge, any musical knowledge, so that this can go out to early years generalist teachers.
Yeah. Sure.
So the first section is a video of the lyrics and
Uh
talk
huh.
about the emphasis on the first beat of the bar and phrasing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then the second lesson goes into describing the sheet music, which again, you can just read it.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 hello songs. One, hello, hello, how nice it is to see you, and then hello to everyone, which follows the same pattern. And then we've got a game song, can you find your name? And then we have teaching resources. So just background things to help with the teaching. So general objectives that go with the songs. 4 PDFs. So
Yeah.
and then we've got things you can download and print. I'm not quite sure why the whole screen, right. So sort of teaching additional things.
Yeah.
And that should go, it's a bit lumpy this morning.
Well, it's Monday morning, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's teaching resources. And then we've also got some children's activities as well, just so that whether you want to suggest parents go home if it's a out of school session, within school, generalist teachers or TAs can follow the suggestions.
Yeah.
And then we just have downloads. So we've got all the learning. Oh yeah, okay, maybe I will go through these. So for each song, it's a zip file that you can download, and you get the piano accompaniment sheet music, one background track of just the backing, which I'm going to add this week with a bit more explanation about it, because obviously I want to encourage unaccompanied singing first and foremost, but obviously for generalist teachers, they might want to
sure.
So that's in lyrics for the children, lyrics, backing track, sheet music. There's something else, but I can't remember what in the zip files. And then there's basically this is just a bit of fun. It's like an A4 sheet that you can tick off to check that you've covered all of both lessons. And then there's just a summary and recap, which is quick. Oh, and the other thing I should mention is that the numbers are the timings of the lessons. So they're really, I've just broken everything up to make it really quick and easy for you to do all sections.
Yes, I mean, I feel, because I know you said that when I was asking you about what was involved, and I sort of feel, that was one of the reasons why I signed up, I suppose, because everything was in such small chunks, and yet I still haven't managed to get anything done in the week.
But that's the way it is, isn't it? And
yes.
I think once you start, you'll probably think, oh yeah, it's that the initial starting, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
The hump.
Yeah.
So that's, I can stop sharing now. So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, it seems great. And what's your background then? How, you said that you were sort of interested in or but you hadn't really thought about this before, but where are you coming from?
Without wanting to bore you, I'll try and do it really quickly. So I started off I went to music college, came out as an orchestral musician, flute.
Yes.
And then as things happen, you fall in love, settle down, have a family, and I basically fell into teaching.
Yeah.
And realized I really enjoyed it. And because I had young children, and people like playgroup leaders found out I was a musician, said, would you come and do a few sessions? And so that's how it all began. And so that was, well, my oldest now is 30. So I've been doing it ever since then, even though I went into mainstream music teaching, which I
Okay.
started as a secondary school head of music, and I worked my way down so that um, primary, I just love teach. I just love the age group and the
Mm.
early years, but particularly 3 to 7 for me. So that's how I got into it. And then uh, I well, to be perfectly honest, it didn't even cross my radar when I started teaching. I was just teaching.
Mm.
And then alongside that, I like learning and I like studying. So I then did psychology degrees. So I did a graduate degree and then a master's, sort of combining music psychology.
Uh-huh.
And then I went on to do a doctorate, and it was when I was doing doctoral research into in so it was primary education, music education, and psychology.
Mm.
And I just came across the Macpherson report about the murder of Stephen Lawrence and how institutional racism played such a part.
Mm.
And it was like a punch in the face, really. And I
Mm.
had to stop and think. And then it went on to talk about systemic racism. And I could identify a lot of that in the practices in the school that I was teaching in. And I just, ever since then, so that must have been in the 90s
Yeah.
or 2000s, actually, because I completed my doctorate in 2008. So that was a huge learning curve for me,
Mm.
really. And it wasn't just that, it was also gender and female um, empowerment and all of that. And so it's sort of, I've been interested in it ever since.
Yeah.
And then it was lockdown and Black Lives Matter, and I was learning about social media and technology, and I just stopped. It gave me the time to stop and
Mm.
think,
Mm.
and I thought, I want to do something. So basically, it started off as a couple of blogs that I was just going to put up, and then I just delved deeper and deeper and peeled the layers back, and then thought, gosh, surely someone else could use this information because I know how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
And
well,
I,
that's really, it's a love, it's a nice way to come into something that you find a real passion for, isn't it?
yeah,
Um, and yeah, no, I'm sure we'll all benefit massively from your knowledge and your expertise,
I
and it'll be really be very, very interesting, I'm sure.
I
Yeah, I'm
really hope
looking forward
so.
to it.
Because the other side of that, which I can say to you, is a lot of my, like, the imposter syndrome going on was,
Mm.
how can you, as a white, late middle-aged now woman, know anything about this? And
Yeah.
then people kept saying to me, but there are so many music teachers just like you. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. So here I am.
Yeah. No, 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 it's good. It's good. And is this the first time you've run the course then? Because I think you did a trial or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a trial in April,
Yeah.
uh, which was received. Well, I was just so blown out of the water by the fact that people were so nice
Mm.
about the course and encouraging. So that was fine, but it was quite rough and ready, and so I've spent all this time just trying to polish it and make it a bit smoother and a bit
Yeah.
deeper, actually.
Yeah.
And then I think the other encouraging thing was the Teach Early Years picked it up and said, we've shortlisted you for the 2021 awards,
Oh, great.
but we need to, this was maybe in August, and they said we need to have access to the course. And at that point, it wasn't all up. And I just say, it's nothing I can do. So that's a shame, but it's a shame in one way, but it was so reaffirming to me that actually maybe I am on the right track and not just, serving a flight of fancy of my own.
But even if you are, I mean, it's, even if it only affects one person, that's enough, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yeah. I do a
But
lot.
I'm sure it will impact many more people.
I hope
So
so.
yeah, no, thank you very much for doing it.
Oh well, thanks for signing up and for your questions were so warmly phrased. I was really pleased. Yeah, pleased that you signed up.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, any feedback I'd really appreciate.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
that. 'Cause
Yeah,
if you
yeah. Well, I'm happy to do that, and I will get on with it, definitely. So I'm sorry, that I don't really have any questions today
no,
because
no, that's fine because it's just nice to meet up, really.
yes, yes.
I will contact the others now and apologize profusely.
But maybe they just signed up because they were going to watch the recording. Because you said you had to register,
Yeah,
even if you weren't going to be here live. Um, so yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, just if you have any, oh, the thing I didn't say is in each lesson there is a discussion button.
Okay.
If you just want to contact me, that's probably the quickest way,
Right.
and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be handy. Yeah. Good. Good.
Well, thanks so much for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll go and spend the rest of the time now starting to look at the introduction and things.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a good
Nice to meet you, Claire.
and you, Barbara.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.